Imagine what it must have looked like the day after Yom Kippur. Moshe Rabbeinu comes down from Har Sinai and says to Bnei Yisrael, now that Hashem has forgiven you, it is time to build a Mishkan. Go home and bring all that you want to donate, gold, silver, copper, all kinds of other materials that are needed for the Mishkan. Everyone go home and bring it to the Mishkan, and we'll gather it all, and then we'll build the Mishkan. So the Pasuk tells us, Vayavo ha'anashim, the men go, and they get what it is that they want to bring. Particularly, the first thing that we hear about is the gold. And they come to donate it to the Mishkan, but the Pasuk says, Vayavo ha'anashim al ha'anashim. The women are coming along with them. And the question is, why? If the men were coming with that which they had in their home, why did the women need to come with them? So the Mincha Belula explains in a very powerful way. He says, Ki hanashim lo rotzu lehamin leba'aleihem. The women did not trust their husbands. The men came home and said to their wives, I need your gold earrings. And the women said, what do you need my gold earrings for? And she said, well, I want to donate it to the Mishkan. So the woman responds and says, well, if it's for the Mishkan, I'd be happy to donate it. But I don't trust that what you're telling me is the truth. Why? Because it was only last week, Parshas Ki Sisa, when the men went home and told their wives, we need your gold. And the women said, for what? And they said, well, we're building an egel. And the women said, no way. We're not giving our gold for an egel. We're not giving our gold for Avodah Zarah. And therefore the Pasuk says that the men brought their own earrings, their own gold. They couldn't get it from their wives. So here, the women realized that, whoa, it wasn't long ago that our husbands betrayed our trust. We don't trust them here now that they're really taking the gold to bring it to the Mishkan. Therefore, we need to go with them to make sure that they're actually giving it to the building of the Mishkan. And then we're happy to donate it. And so what we see is that the women went along so that they can learn to trust their husbands again. After only last week in the Parsha, they learned that they couldn't trust their husbands. And I think this is such an important, powerful message for us on a deeper level. There are relationships in life in which our trust has been betrayed and lost, sometimes on a minor level, relatively minor level, and sometimes trust is lost on a major level. And in both circumstances, trust needs to be earned once again. Trust is something that can take a lifetime to earn and only in a moment can be lost. But we have to keep in mind that it's important that if we are someone who betrayed the trust of someone else, we can't simply give up and say, okay, you don't want to trust me, don't trust me. We need to work to earn their trust back. And if we are someone who's been betrayed by someone, we say, there is no way in the world I'm ever trusting you again. Maybe we need to become a little flexible if we want to stay in the relationship and say, look, let me tell you how you can earn my trust. It might not be easy, but I'll try to trust you if I can see that you're sincere, you're authentic, you're sorry, and that you're really trustworthy. And that's a lesson that we learn, says the Mincha Belula, from this Parsha. May we be zocheh that in our lives, the relationships that we have are often complicated, and sometimes there are moments where hopefully on a minor level trust is lost, but that we are determined to gain that trust back, to solidify our relationships and be able to become closer to each other as the Bnei Yisrael, by virtue of their donation to the Mishkan, became closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Thank you for listening and have a good Shabbos.